What's the greatest innovation of the last few years?
So, I think the greatest innovation of the last few years is actually an amazing light bulb moment that someone had in Brazil, where they were trying to work out a better way of lighting indoors without using paraffin lamps or having power for millions of people around the world. And they came up with an amazing idea, which is to fill an empty plastic bottle with basically just water and a tiny drop of bleach, and using refraction of light, the light comes through the top of the bottle and then comes into the home and lights up the home without any electricity at all.
What was the most innovative decision you've made?
I think the most innovative decision that I've made has been related to a piece of work that I was doing for the student loans company several years ago, where we decided to try and redesign the way students applied for loans, and we ended up crowdsourcing a whole load of ideas from a huge community of people in higher education about the lending needs and journey needs of a whole load of students and young people applying for loans.
Can you tell me about a time that someone helped you innovate?
Yes, absolutely. So my children are my best kind of challenge and thought provokers when I'm thinking about things. They'll often kind of talk to me about things which will make me rethink my whole approach to something. So the most best example of that is, I guess, with one of my eldest children, who sees Google as the place where you go and ask questions. So in some work that I was doing, I guess I took that conversation, I used that to really challenge why we were building something the way we were building it, with very complex navigation to move around, when actually what people really want to do is to be able to type some stuff into a big search box and be able to find it really easily that way, because that's kind of how people like to find things. So a very simple way of reshaping what I was thinking already.
Can you tell me about a problem you tried to solve but failed to find a solution?
It's a fantastic question. I think I've worked for a fintech about in its kind of second stage of its evolution, and there I guess we were trying to solve the problem of how to quickly speed up the lending process, and I guess the challenge is there is only so far you could go in that journey, because there are just some things that the world is not ready for us to take away. So, for example, there are some regulatory things that drive us to produce various documents that then have to go out to customers, even if it's just as an email or something. And so we were trying to really streamline something down, and we kind of failed slightly because we just couldn't get rid of some of those things. But we tried very, very hard, and I was pretty pleased with how innovative we were able to push the solution at that time.
Brilliant. And the last question, what are the keys to a successful innovation strategy?
I think two things really. So be as expansive as you can, really throw the net far and wide, embrace as many ideas as you can. There's no such thing as a bad idea, there's no such thing as something you can't do. And I guess building on that theory is don't just